Seniors, 5 reasons your legs are getting weaker after 60. Do this before it's too late. Your legs are undeniably fundamental to your sustained independence, unhindered mobility, and overall thriving quality of life, acting as the sturdy, resilient pillars that support your every conscious and unconscious movement, from executing a simple, leisurely stroll across a sun-drenched park to navigating the formidable ascent of a multi-flight staircase requiring both strength and balance. Yet for a growing number of individuals gracefully traversing the journey past the age of 60, a disconcerting and often perplexing sense of profound weakness, an uncharacteristic shakiness, or an unprecedented level of persistent fatigue in their lower limbs begins to subtly or overtly emerge, gradually transforming previously effortless and routine activities into unexpectedly daunting challenges. Perhaps you now find yourself struggling with a noticeable shortness of breath or an almost overwhelming muscular ache when attempting to ascend even a single flight of stairs without needing to pause and gather your strength, or standing for what was once considered merely extended periods now invariably brings an uncomfortable throbbing ache and an almost irresistible desire to find immediate rest by sitting down. A critical understanding to profoundly embrace is that this progressively increasing leg weakness is far from being a mere universally accepted or inherently inevitable consequence of the natural process of advancing years. Instead, it serves as a vital, often urgent and undeniably significant warning signal emanating directly from your magnificent body, indicating a potentially serious decline in fundamental physical strength, a compromise in essential, life-sustaining circulatory function, or even a critical and insidious depletion of vital nutrients that are absolutely indispensable for robust physical well-being and peak bodily performance. To dismiss or negligently disregard this crucial physiological alert can, regrettably, pave the way for a perilous cascade of progressively deteriorating conditions, drastically escalating the inherent risk of dangerous falls that can tragically lead to severe physical injuries, prolonged and arduous recovery periods, and a significant erosion of your cherished personal independence by severely limiting your innate ability to perform essential daily tasks unaided and potentially culminating in more severe, even acutely life-threatening, health complications that drastically diminish your life's inherent enjoyment and ultimate longevity. However, there is a profound sense of reassurance, potent empowerment, and actionable hope in knowing that once you delve beneath the superficial symptoms to meticulously identify and thoroughly comprehend the often hidden underlying physiological causes unequivocally contributing to this unwelcome and debilitating leg weakness, you are then strategically equipped with the indispensable knowledge and practical tools to implement straightforward yet remarkably impactful, actionable strategies, enabling you to systematically and effectively rebuild your lost strength, reclaim your agility and dynamic flexibility, and move through your world with renewed, unwavering confidence, enhanced stability, and a vibrant sense of purpose, allowing you to enthusiastically re-engage with activities and hobbies you once deeply loved and maintain a richly fulfilling, active, and independent lifestyle well into your golden years. Therefore, let us meticulously uncover and thoroughly explore the 5 most significant, prevalent, and often treatable reasons why your legs may be experiencing this unwelcome decline in inherent strength, and crucially, examine the highly effective, proactive interventions and natural solutions available to rectify these issues and fortify your lower body resilience, vitality, and functional capacity before the progression of these conditions becomes irreversible or requires more invasive interventions, always remembering that while this information is meticulously designed to be extensively educational and highly informative, offering broad, general knowledge, it is universally intended for informational purposes exclusively and should never, under any circumstances, be misconstrued, interpreted, or utilized as a definitive substitute for professional medical advice, comprehensive diagnosis, or a tailored treatment plan from a qualified, licensed healthcare provider who can assess your individual health needs. The fifth critical and widely experienced reason contributing to the diminishing strength and vitality in your legs is muscle loss, medically and scientifically termed sarcopenia, a pervasive and often initially underestimated condition wherein, as human beings naturally and gracefully age, there is a natural, progressive, and involuntary decline in overall muscle mass, inherent strength, and vital functional capacity, a complex biological process that quietly and subtly commences much earlier in life than most people intuitively realize, often beginning its insidious progression as early as our third decade of life, specifically during our 30s, yet its acceleration becomes particularly pronounced, impactful, and noticeably rapid after the significant age of 60, transforming from a gradual, almost imperceptible erosion into a more rapid, tangible, and clinically significant decline in muscle tissue if proactive, consistent, and scientifically supported measures are not consciously undertaken to actively counteract this relentless physiological attrition. Individuals could face the staggering and disheartening prospect of losing an alarming proportion, up to 30%, of their total crucial muscle mass by the time they ultimately reach their 80s, a substantial and debilitating reduction that carries profound, far-reaching implications for daily functioning, independent living, and overall physical performance. This substantial and debilitating loss of muscle directly compromises the inherent strength, endurance, and functional capacity of your legs, rendering once routine, seemingly simple, and previously effortless everyday activities progressively more arduous, exhausting, and physically demanding. Consider the once trivial act of rising smoothly from a comfortable chair, which might now transform into a strenuous, energy-draining effort requiring significant bracing, strained effort, and often the use of arm rests for assistance, or the challenge of walking even moderate or extended distances, which could suddenly become a tiring, breath-sapping ordeal leading to early and pervasive fatigue, or the simple yet vital act of ascending a flight of stairs, which could evolve into a formidable and almost insurmountable task requiring frequent, necessary breaks and leaving you feeling breathless and weak. The telltale signs indicative of sarcopenia and significant muscle loss are often subtle and insidious at first, but gradually become increasingly apparent and disruptive over time. These may include a noticeable and concerning reduction in the circumference, firmness, and overall definition of your thighs and calves, giving them a thinner, less muscular, or flabbier appearance, an unfamiliar and persistent sensation of heaviness, leadenness, or unresponsiveness in your legs, even after minimal activity or periods of rest, and a pervasive, lingering feeling of fatigue that sets in disproportionately quickly after undertaking even a short walk, minor physical exertion, or a routine household chore, signaling that your muscles are struggling to cope with their usual demands. However, there is indeed very encouraging, scientifically validated news and a clear, accessible pathway to significant mitigation and improvement. Sarcopenia is not an irreversible, predetermined fate. Its progression can be significantly slowed, effectively managed, and in many clinically documented instances, even effectively reversed through dedicated, consistent, and targeted effort. The cornerstone of this reversal and muscle preservation lies in the strategic and regular incorporation of straightforward, yet remarkably highly effective, strength training exercises into your regular daily regimen. These essential exercises don't necessarily demand an expensive gym membership, access to sophisticated equipment, or the use of heavy weights. Simple, effective bodyweight exercises performed in the comfort, privacy, and convenience of your own home can yield truly remarkable and measurable benefits over time. Consider accessible and practical exercises like chair squats, where you repeatedly and deliberately sit down and stand up from a sturdy, stable chair, thereby actively engaging major leg and gluteal muscles, building foundational strength, or leg lifts meticulously performed while seated or lying down, specifically specifically targeting your quadriceps and hip flexors for enhanced mobility and power, or the versatile utilization of resistance bands, which offer scalable resistance for various muscle groups, can be easily integrated into a wide range of exercises and are highly portable. These activities actively stimulate muscle protein synthesis, the fundamental biological process that rebuilds, repairs, and fortifies lost or damaged muscle tissue, leading to increased muscle mass and strength. Concurrently, the strategic and consistent intake of adequate, high-quality protein is absolutely essential, acting as the fundamental building blocks or amino acids required for comprehensive muscle repair, regeneration, and vigorous growth. Aim to integrate a diverse variety of lean, high-quality protein sources into your daily diet, such as lean meats like chicken and turkey, protein-rich whole eggs, various types of fatty and lean fish such as salmon and cod, dairy products including nutrient-dense milk, yogurt, and cheese, and equally important plant-based options such as nuts, seeds, and various legumes like beans and lentils, ensuring a consistent and ample supply of these crucial amino acids to fuel this vital muscle repair and vigorous rebuilding process. Furthermore, never underestimate the profound cumulative importance of simple, consistent physical movement throughout your day. Even a modest, dedicated commitment of just 10 to 15 minutes of walking each day, whether it's a brisk walk around your immediate neighborhood, a leisurely stroll in a local park, or simply purposeful pacing within the confines of your own home, can provide sufficient stimulus to keep your leg muscles actively engaged, continually stimulated, and functionally strong, significantly delaying the onset and mitigating the debilitating effects of sarcopenia, thereby preserving your physical capabilities. The fourth significant and potentially dangerous factor contributing to diminishing leg strength, persistent fatigue, and discomfort is poor circulation, most commonly and severely associated with peripheral artery disease, PAD, a prevalent and insidious condition that warrants immediate and serious medical attention. Do you frequently experience a persistent, unsettling sensation of coldness in your legs or feet, even in warm environments, a recurring, unnerving numbness that makes them feel foreign or unresponsive or painful, debilitating cramping in your calves that characteristically intensifies with physical exertion, such as walking, but mysteriously subsides upon finding immediate rest? These specific disquieting symptoms are not to be dismissed lightly or ignored, as they very often serve as compelling, urgent indicators of compromised blood flow to your lower extremities, a serious medical condition frequently instigated by the gradual yet insidious accumulation of atherosclerotic plaque, a sticky, fatty, waxy substance composed of cholesterol, fat, and other cellular waste products within the vital arteries that are responsible for supplying oxygen-rich blood to your legs, an affliction precisely identified and diagnosed as peripheral artery disease, or PAD, when these crucial arteries become narrowed, hardened, or completely obstructed by this relentless plaque buildup. The direct and inevitable consequence is a dramatic, detrimental reduction in the delivery of vital oxygen-rich blood and essential nutrients to the muscles and tissues of your legs, leading to a state of chronic ischemia or insufficient blood supply. As a direct and often painful result, your leg muscles, being critically deprived of the necessary oxygen and metabolic nutrients required for optimal function, become inherently weak, quickly fatigued, and acutely prone to painful cramping, particularly during any form of physical exertion, which is a classic and diagnostic symptom known as intermittent claudication, where pain predictably occurs during activity and resolves with rest. In more advanced and severe manifestations of PAD, where blood flow is critically and dangerously impaired, the implications can escalate dramatically, potentially leading to slow-healing wounds or persistent non-healing ulcers, particularly on the feet and lower legs, which struggle desperately to mend due to the profound lack of adequate circulation and nutrient supply, and even significantly increasing the susceptibility to severe limb-threatening infections that, if left unchecked and untreated, can pose a grave and immediate threat to limb viability, potentially necessitating amputation. If you regularly notice your legs feeling unusually heavy, leaden, or experiencing an irritating, persistent tingling sensation after standing for even a moderate duration, or if you consistently encounter a distinctive and reproducible pain in your calves that reliably improves and diminishes when you sit down and rest, these are powerful, unmistakable signs that your circulatory system, specifically in your lower limbs, may be significantly compromised and requires urgent professional medical attention to actively and effectively boost blood flow throughout your legs, thereby alleviating many of these debilitating symptoms and improving arterial health. The foremost, most accessible, and perhaps simplest intervention is consistent daily walking, even if your initial efforts are limited to just a short, gentle stroll around the confines of your own home or garden. Consistency is undeniably key, as regular sustained movement encourages the development of collateral blood vessels, essentially creating natural bypasses, and improves the overall efficiency of existing ones, enhancing blood flow. Another crucial component for optimal circulation is maintaining optimal hydration levels. Ensure you drink ample quantities of clean, fresh water throughout the day, as proper hydration supports healthy blood volume and viscosity, facilitating smoother, less impeded blood flow. Concurrently, strategically reducing your dietary intake of salt, sodium, is highly beneficial, as excessive sodium can contribute significantly to fluid retention and swelling, particularly in the lower extremities, which further impedes optimal circulation and exacerbates discomfort. Supplementary soothing measures, such as warm foot soaks, can provide temporary relief by promoting local vasodilation. Gentle leg massages can stimulate local blood flow and lymphatic drainage, and periodically elevating your legs above heart level for periods can assist in fluid drainage and reduce swelling. However, it is absolutely imperative to understand that if these symptoms persist, worsen progressively, or if you strongly suspect you may be experiencing the signs and symptoms of PAD, consulting your doctor without delay is not merely advisable but critically urgent, as untreated peripheral artery disease significantly elevates your lifetime risk of developing other severe cardiovascular complications, including debilitating heart disease and potentially life-altering strokes, thereby necessitating a professional medical evaluation, an accurate diagnosis, and a tailored, comprehensive treatment plan that may include lifestyle modifications, medications, or even surgical interventions to restore optimal blood flow. The third significant and frequently encountered underlying cause of weakening legs is nerve damage, commonly referred to as peripheral neuropathy, a complex and often debilitating condition that silently affects millions of individuals, particularly within the senior demographic. Do your legs or feet frequently present with a disquieting, inexplicable tingling sensation, an unnerving numbness that makes them feel foreign, disconnected, or unresponsive, or a persistent, intensely uncomfortable, burning sensation as if they are perpetually exposed to heat or fire, even when no external stimulus is present? Do you ever experience the peculiar, unsettling, and disorienting sensation of walking on a soft, yielding sponge, a thick, unresponsive pillow, or even unstable cotton wool, rather than feeling the firm, solid ground beneath your feet, indicating a concerning loss of proprioception and essential sensation, making balance precarious? These distinct and troublesome manifestations can all be profound, urgent indicators of nerve damage, specifically peripheral neuropathy, a debilitating condition where damage occurs to the peripheral nerves, the vast, intricate network of nerves that extends from the brain and spinal cord to the rest of the body, including the arms, hands, legs, and feet, affecting nearly 1 in 3 seniors, a demographic particularly vulnerable to its onset, especially those individuals living with chronic medical conditions like poorly managed diabetes or grappling with significant long-standing vitamin deficiencies. The insidious and destructive nature of chronically high blood sugar levels, often intrinsically associated with uncontrolled diabetes mellitus, is particularly damaging to these delicate, vulnerable nerves over extended periods. gradually eroding their protective myelin sheaths, impairing their ability to efficiently transmit vital electrical signals and leading to irreversible structural changes. Conversely, insufficient levels of vitamin B12, a vital micronutrient absolutely essential for optimal nerve health, the synthesis of myelin, and the efficient functioning of the entire nervous system, can also lead directly to debilitating leg weakness, sensory disturbances, and other profound neurological symptoms. The longer that neuropathy remains undiagnosed and, crucially, left untreated without appropriate intervention, the more profound, widespread, and potentially irreversible the nerve damage can become, progressively worsening over time and leading to a myriad of serious secondary complications, including severe and debilitating balance issues that dramatically increase the risk of dangerous falls, impaired coordination, muscle atrophy, and a significant, heartbreaking loss of independent mobility, fundamentally eroding one's quality of life. To actively and effectively protect your intricate nervous system and diligently preserve nerve function in your legs, proactive and consistent measures are absolutely paramount. It is critically important to diligently monitor and meticulously manage your blood sugar levels with unwavering consistency, especially if you have a diagnosis of prediabetes or established diabetes, through a harmonious combination of carefully controlled diet, regular physical exercise, and appropriate medication as precisely prescribed by your doctor, always aiming for stable, within target glucose readings. Concurrently, adopting a nutrient-dense diet that is robustly rich in vitamin B12 is equally crucial. This can be readily achieved by regularly incorporating B12 fortified foods into your meals or by consuming natural, abundant sources such as eggs, various dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese, and certain leafy green vegetables, while for some individuals, particularly strict vegetarians or vegans, supplementation might be necessary under careful medical guidance. Furthermore, it is strongly and unequivocally advised to meticulously avoid excessive and chronic consumption of alcohol, as chronic alcohol abuse is a well-documented neurotoxin that can not only exacerbate existing nerve damage, but also induce new forms of neuropathy, further compromising nerve health. Gentle leg and foot massages can also offer palliative and temporary benefits by stimulating localized blood flow to the nerve endings, potentially improving nerve function and significantly reducing the pervasive discomfort, pain, and paresthesias associated with neuropathy, providing a measure of relief. However, if you begin to notice any persistent, progressively worsening, or particularly alarming numbness, tingling, burning, or weakness in your legs or feet, it is unequivocally crucial not to ignore or dismiss these symptoms as merely old age, but rather to speak with your doctor promptly and honestly for a comprehensive medical evaluation, including proper diagnostic testing such as nerve conduction studies, to accurately determine the underlying cause and initiate an appropriate, timely, and personalized treatment plan, as early intervention can often prevent further deterioration, alleviate symptoms, and preserve crucial neurological function, allowing for a better prognosis. The second, often overlooked, yet profoundly impactful cause of diminishing leg strength, stability, and comfort lies within spinal problems, encompassing common yet debilitating conditions such as sciatica and herniated discs. A crucial and intricate connection that many people inadvertently fail to recognize or appreciate. Your lower back, specifically the lumbar region of your spine, plays an absolutely pivotal, central, and indispensable role in governing the inherent strength, sensory perception, and coordinated movement of your legs, functioning as the vital central hub through which all essential nerve signals must meticulously travel from your brain down the spinal cord and outwards to your lower extremities, controlling every muscle contraction and sensation if you are contending with the painful reality reality of a herniated disc, a condition where the soft, gel-like nucleus of an intervertebral spinal disc protrudes or ruptures through its tougher, fibrous outer casing, pressing on adjacent nerves, or suffering from spinal stenosis, a narrowing of the bony spaces within your spinal column that can compress and irritate the spinal cord and nerve roots, or even if you habitually maintain long-term poor posture that places undue and chronic mechanical stress on your vertebral column. Any of these pervasive conditions can lead to the compression, impingement, or severe irritation of the delicate nerves as they exit your spinal cord, specifically those nerve roots destined for your legs. This neural compression can manifest as debilitating weakness, intense radiating pain that travels along the nerve pathway, or even sudden, alarming collapses or giving way sensations in your legs, signifying a temporary loss of motor control or muscle power, which can be extremely dangerous and destabilizing. The characteristic symptoms indicative of leg weakness directly stemming from spinal issues are often distinctive, predictable, and highly localized, making them identifiable. These may include a sharp, searing, electric shock-like, or dull, persistent ache that originates deeply in your lower back and travels or radiates down one or both legs, sometimes extending all the way to the feet. A bothersome sensation of numbness, tingling, or uncomfortable pins and needles in your feet, toes, or specific parts of your legs, or a distinct, unsettling, and asymmetrical feeling that one leg is noticeably weaker, heavier, or less responsive than the other, creating an imbalance in your gait, posture, and overall stability. If these detailed symptoms resonate profoundly with your personal experience and sound alarmingly familiar, initiating gentle therapeutic back stretches can provide significant relief and help to decompress the spinal nerves, thereby reducing pressure and irritation. Exercises such as the knee to chest stretch, where you gently but firmly pull one knee towards your chest while lying comfortably on your back, or seated spinal twists, which promote spinal flexibility, reduce stiffness, and encourage gentle decompression, can be particularly beneficial and easily integrated into a daily routine. It is also highly advisable to consciously and diligently avoid prolonged periods of uninterrupted sitting, as remaining stationary in a seated position for extended durations places significant, sustained, and often detrimental pressure on the lumbar region of your lower back, exacerbating nerve compression, increasing discomfort, and potentially contributing to disc issues. If your professional duties or personal circumstances necessitate sitting for extended periods, it becomes critically important to utilize a proper, ergonomically designed lumbar support cushion that helps maintain the natural, healthy curvature of your spine, and crucially, to commit to regularly breaking up these sedentary periods by making a conscious, deliberate effort to stand up, stretch your body, and move around for at least a few minutes every 30 minutes. This proactive movement helps to alleviate pressure, improve localized circulation to spinal structures, and prevent stiffness, thereby protecting your nerves and discs. Fundamentally, maintaining the health, flexibility, proper alignment, and robust resilience of your entire spine is unequivocally paramount and constitutes the indispensable key to ensuring the enduring strength, optimal function, and robust resilience of your legs, highlighting the intricate, unbreakable, and vital connection between your core neurological integrity and your lower body's physical capabilities. The paramount and ultimate reason, often surprisingly overlooked despite its critical and widespread impact, contributing to sudden and inexplicable leg weakness, debilitating cramps, and various other unsettling symptoms is an electrolyte imbalance, particularly insidious deficiencies in essential minerals like magnesium and potassium, which are absolutely indispensable for the precise, harmonious, and efficient function of every single muscle cell and nerve cell in your body, acting as the fundamental spark plugs for seamless nerve signal transmission and coordinated muscle contraction, regulating fluid balance and energy production. Have you ever been abruptly and painfully awakened in the dead of night by an excruciatingly sharp, seizing leg cramp that grips your calf or thigh with unrelenting force? Or do your legs sometimes feel inexplicably shaky, unsteady, or profoundly weak, seemingly out of nowhere, without any apparent preceding physical exertion or logical cause? These common, yet distressing and disruptive experiences are highly indicative of an underlying deficit in these vital micronutrients, specifically magnesium and potassium, which play fundamental, non-negotiable roles in maintaining neuromuscular integrity, cellular energy production, and overall physiological balance. A deficiency in potassium, medically known as hypokalemia, can lead to a diverse range of debilitating symptoms, including recurrent, painful muscle spasms, a generalized and pervasive muscle weakness that severely compromises daily activities and overall mobility, and even more alarmingly, irregular heartbeats or cardiac arrhythmias, highlighting its critical and direct role in maintaining cardiovascular health and proper heart rhythm. Simultaneously, a lack of sufficient magnesium, medically termed hypomagnesemia, can manifest as involuntary muscle twitching or persistent tremors, pervasive and unrelenting fatigue that drains your energy reserves and mental clarity, and even contribute to feelings of anxiety, irritability, and nervousness, underscoring its broad and profound impact on neurological, psychological, and muscular well-being. These critical electrolyte imbalances frequently arise from various interconnected factors, including inadequate fluid intake leading to chronic dehydration, which concentrates electrolytes and severely disrupts their delicate balance, the use of certain common medications, most notably diuretics, water pills, which can increase the excretion of these vital minerals from the body through urine, or simply a consistent dietary pattern that persistently fails to include a sufficient quantity of mineral-rich whole foods, thereby gradually but inevitably depleting the body's essential reserves over time to effectively and naturally restore this delicate and vital electrolyte balance, thereby mitigating associated symptoms and fundamentally bolstering leg strength and functional resilience. A primary, accessible, and highly effective strategy involves significantly increasing your dietary intake of potassium-rich foods. Excellent sources include ripe, sweet bananas, vibrant oranges, nutrient-dense spinach, creamy avocados, hearty sweet potatoes, and wholesome dried apricots, all of which contribute significantly to your daily potassium requirements and overall health. For magnesium replenishment, focus on thoughtfully incorporating foods like crunchy almonds, antioxidant-rich dark chocolate, consumed in moderation for health benefits, various whole grains such as oats, brown rice, and quinoa, and a wide array of beans and legumes, which are powerhouses of this essential mineral and provide dietary fiber. Crucially, ensuring you drink plenty of clean, fresh water throughout the day is non-negotiable and absolutely fundamental, as proper hydration is paramount for countless bodily functions. Dehydration not only exacerbates existing electrolyte imbalances by making mineral concentrations more volatile and less available, but also severely impairs overall cellular function, making the body less efficient at utilizing the minerals it does have and hindering metabolic processes. As a practical, soothing, and easily accessible home remedy, if you frequently suffer from disruptive and painful leg cramps, particularly during the nighttime hours, consider indulging in a warm Epsom salt bath before bed. The magnesium sulfate in Epsom salts can be effectively absorbed through your skin, providing a transdermal route for magnesium uptake, which then acts as a natural muscle relaxant, calming hyperactive muscle fibers and significantly helping to prevent the recurrence of painful cramps, offering a simple yet profoundly effective solution for better sleep, greater comfort, and improved muscle relaxation. In conclusion, understanding that weak legs are far more than a simple, passing inconvenience or an unavoidable badge of aging is absolutely paramount. They represent unmistakable, urgent, and often critical warning signals emanating directly from your body, passionately demanding your immediate attention, proactive care, and dedicated intervention, irrespective of whether the underlying cause is the natural yet entirely manageable process of muscle loss, sarcopenia, the circulatory challenges posed by compromised blood flow, peripheral artery disease, the insidious and often progressive effects of nerve damage, peripheral neuropathy, the mechanical pressures and radiating discomfort arising from various spinal issues such as sciatica or herniated discs, or the subtle yet profound disruptions caused by an electrolyte imbalance like insidious deficiencies in magnesium and potassium. The empowering, undeniable truth is that a multitude of straightforward, natural, and remarkably highly effective solutions exist to help you not only regain but also significantly enhance your leg strength, functional mobility, and overall vibrant vitality. The transformative journey to achieving stronger, more resilient legs begins today with decisive action, unwavering commitment, and a proactive mindset. Make it an immediate priority to incorporate daily physical activity into your routine. Even starting with just 5 minutes of purposeful movement can initiate positive change and gradually build powerful momentum. Consistently aim to consume a diet that is robustly abundant in high-quality protein and a wide spectrum of nutrient-rich whole foods, providing the essential building blocks, vital micronutrients, and sustainable fuel necessary to rebuild muscle tissue, support nerve function, and maintain all bodily systems. Commit to drinking more clean, fresh water throughout the day to maintain optimal cellular hydration, and consciously strive to balance your essential mineral intake through a diverse diet to prevent weakness and robustly support muscle and nerve function. Regularly assess and diligently correct your posture and actively attend to your spinal health through appropriate exercises and ergonomic support, as these are critical foundational elements for preventing nerve compression and ensuring proper, uninterrupted communication between your brain and legs. And perhaps most fundamentally, embrace daily walking as a powerful, accessible, and profoundly beneficial tool to consistently improve circulation. Keep your leg muscles actively engaged, toned, and strong, and prevent the onset of debilitating leg fatigue. Do not succumb to the temptation to delay or postpone these vital interventions. Waiting until symptoms become severe, pervasive, or irreversible can significantly limit your treatment options, diminish your overall quality of life, and compromise your independence. If you have found this extensive information to be genuinely helpful, deeply insightful, and truly empowering in your personal journey towards stronger, healthier, and more resilient legs, we kindly and enthusiastically encourage you to express your appreciation by giving this comprehensive guide a well-deserved thumbs up. Consider subscribing to our channel to stay informed with future valuable content and expert advice. And most importantly, generously share this invaluable knowledge with friends, family members, or anyone in your immediate social circle who could profoundly benefit from achieving stronger, more resilient, and healthier legs and a better quality of life. Finally, we invite you to actively participate in the conversation by letting us know in the comments section below which of these detailed reasons for leg weakness most surprised you, or perhaps which solution you are most eager to immediately implement into your daily routine. Your valuable insights, personal experiences, and thoughtful questions are greatly welcomed and deeply appreciated.